Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Rain or Shine Sports Network. We are into week 2 of the football season. Week 1 went over pretty well, I think. There were some really good games, good matchups. Some teams
In terms
did
of football,
well.
it was pretty good. Yeah. In terms of other things, not very good weekend for me.
Yeah, well,
Happens.
it was over the weekend. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
nope. I hear you. I hear you. I'm your host tonight, Tom Satera, along with Robbie Satera. I'm broadcasting from Aberdeen, Washington. Robbie's down in Albany, Oregon for the one last broadcast here. He'll be moving up to the Vancouver area, Camas, next at the end of this week. So he'll have new digs and a new chapter of his life
Instead
to look forward.
of white walls, it'll be dark green.
Okay. That'll be a different look for you there. So all right, we're into week 2, season 2, week 2 of our weekly pro football. I guess it's kind of a football analysis type of prediction show. I guess it is. We predict all of the NFL games. Have a little contest between us on who has a better record at the end of the year. Robbie won year 1, and I'm gonna overthrow him here in year 2. So to start with, I want to recap last week's games in case you missed them. Philadelphia beat Dallas 24-20. The Chargers over the Chiefs in a little bit of a surprise, 27-21. Jacksonville over Carolina. This was our ranking game, 26-10. The Commanders over the Giants, 21-6. Steelers over the Jets in a high-scoring affair, 34-32. Arizona over New Orleans, 20-13. The Raiders over the Patriots by the same score, 20-13. Pete Carroll picks up the win for the Raiders. Indianapolis all over Miami, 33-8. Cincinnati beat Cleveland 17-16. Tampa Bay over Atlanta, 23-20. San Francisco over the Seahawks in a dismal showing in my mind. We'll talk about that in a little bit. 17-13. Denver over Tennessee, 20-12. The Rams over the Texans, 14-9. Green Bay over Detroit, 27-13. Probably the best game of the year. Maybe you're ready. Right in week 1. Buffalo over Baltimore, 41-40. And Minnesota beat Chicago 27-24 on Monday Night Football. So for those games, how did we fare in our predictions for this last week there, Rob?
Let me pull it up, if it'll let me. Do this. Bam.
Bam, bam. There we go. Okay, so there's the ones we had the same. Oh, I got a little bit of a lead, huh?
You got a 1-game lead.
Yep, I guess I do. All right. Well, hey, that's the way it starts. One game at a time.
Right there.
Week 1, 12-4 to 11-5. So let's just go back to one thing. All right. I want to get this out quickly. I'm a Seahawks fan, and I hate it when people say, oh, people are fair weather fans. No, that's not the deal. When you're a fan of a team, there are some expectations that come with that. You can be critical of your team. You want them to do well. But some people think, oh, you just have to stand behind your team and you have to do this and you have to do that. That's not the way it's not a kumbaya land. This is football that we're playing. It'd be different if we were the Cleveland Browns or, Jacksonville or Carolina. But being a Seahawks fan, there's some expectations that you expect. And getting Sam Darnold and this elite Clint Kubiak offense really underwhelmed me this weekend. I was not impressed with. There was absolutely nothing that really made me think, oh, yeah, this is the offense that's going to work. Sam Darnold ran an offense in Minnesota. I didn't think our offensive line was that bad this weekend. I don't know if he got sacked maybe once or twice, but it wasn't much. And so I expected a little bit more. We had a little bit of a running game. Charbonnet's running the ball really well right now. And Kenny Walker will get there as well. A couple of bad plays on defense. Rick Woolen's got to get there, man. He was in position. 1 sack. Yeah, he was in position on both of those plays and just kind of mistimed things. So hopefully he can get that figured out. I really like Reek and would love to see him do well on that. So taking a look at our parlay from last week. I hit one of my games. I had I missed the Detroit and Green Bay game, which I'm sure a lot of people did. Detroit was getting 2.5 points and they lost by 14. And I did pick Tampa Bay giving up 2.5 against Atlanta, and they won by 3. So that one hit. How about for you, Rob?
So I had Kansas City and the Chargers going over 46.5. They went over 46.5. And then, no surprise, Baltimore and Buffalo over 50.5.
I was surprised on that, though. I mean, that game was amazing, man.
It was.
40-25.
It was, 40-25 into the fourth quarter, and he scores 16 unanswered.
It was
pretty much by
crazy.
himself.
It was crazy. You don't see Derrick Henry fumble the football for one.
True.
That's a big play. But it was a heck of a game, though. I mean, that's what you expect with those two teams playing, though, too. So again, it's going to be a tough game to beat as we move forward. So we have let's take a look and see who the rain teams and the shine teams were for each of us from this past weekend. So on our show, we being rain or shine, we classified the rain teams as the team that get kind of dreary, didn't go well, kind of, an ugly weather type of stuff. And the shine team is a team that shined, that played better than expected. My rain team, probably the worst showing of anybody last week, the Miami Dolphins. I don't know how you lose 33-7, I think is what it was. Is that who you have too?
They were up there and I crossed them out.
Oh,
put a different team up there.
Okay, who did you have as your rain team?
I had Houston.
Okay.
They didn't play.
They were underwhelming, but yeah.
Not a lot of things were going their way, and it just didn't look very good, in my opinion. So,
all right. So for the shine team for me, I had the Green Bay Packers, man. They really showed me a lot. Mm-hmm. And, I was a little underwhelmed with Detroit, the way they played. Dan Campbell will have them going. People are saying, oh, yeah, they've lost this. They still got Dan Campbell. And I think they're going to get there, but they did not look like themselves against Green Bay there. So, all right, taking a look forward to we got to take a look at the power rankings there.
Just skipped me too, by the way.
Oh yeah. Who was your shine team?
Well, I was going to put Detroit also in that rain team category, but I didn't.
Okay.
But mine is actually Green Bay too. Okay. I was like, there's 3 or 4 teams I could have put up there, and it is what it is. But yeah.
This time of the season, especially because you get a lot of that stuff, mm-hmm. We don't know who everybody is yet. I mean, look at what Pittsburgh did, against the Jets. Both of those two teams played really well, actually. And was that what they're going to be, or was that just what happened in week 1? And I think it's what happened in week 1, but we'll see. So as we take a look at our power rankings, the rain power rankings, or the bottom 3 of the NFL, starting with my last week picks were Carolina at 30, Tennessee 31, New Orleans at 32. And I have one of those teams in there, but I have the Giants in the number 30 position. What do you have for the number 30?
I have New England.
Okay.
Like I like their team. They're young. They got a lot of young guys, but they got to start playing.
Well, they're going to get good this week. They got the Dolphins this week. So. How about in the number 31 spot? Who do you have?
This one is a little bit surprising after how they did last year and with what I saw in week one. Miami.
Okay. Okay. I can see that though.
Nothing that's like, this is promising. It's just, this is it. This is Miami.
Yeah. No, it was
Out of
it
here.
was pretty ugly. I have the New Orleans Saints in that position. They're going to find themselves. I think they're going to do okay, but right now I just have them at 31. And then my number 32 team is the Miami Dolphins. I just right now I don't think anybody played worse than them last week. And who did you have in your
I had Carolina in the
Okay.
bottom, but
Yep.
mainly because I saw something that kind of really put a different sight into that team in general. And I don't know if it's maybe because if it was just a certain thing, but there was a clip that came out of the whole team in the huddle except for Bryce Young. He was turned around the opposite direction, looking at the board that they were doing the helmet shuffle, trying to find where the where whatever they were trying to
the
hide in it.
football was under
And
or
I'm like,
whatever?
I would be looking at that too, but you gotta be with your team. And but then again, I don't know if he was waiting for something or what, and just turned around and saw that, but it just kind of looked odd. So I'm like, I'm gonna put them at the bottom. It's safe, week one, but I'm sure they'll get out of the top or the bottom three this year.
Sure,
So
sure. All righty. How about on the shine teams? Team number 3 in my book right now, Green Bay.
Green Bay for me as well in my third spot.
All right. How about number 2 for you?
That's gonna be a team that lost, but showed like who they actually were. It's Baltimore.
Okay. I had Baltimore in the 3 spot last week, and I thought with that loss, I couldn't. I just couldn't because I have Buffalo in the number 2 spot. I didn't give them number 1 yet. I still got Philadelphia in that number 1 spot. And I just couldn't put them above Green Bay right now. Week 2, 3 maybe, or week 2 may be different. Going into next week, I may change. Obviously, these things change weekly, but yeah, I just couldn't put them there.
I mean, Philly didn't really play that great either, though.
No, they
Then
didn't.
again, they didn't really need to play that great either, though, because it's Dallas.
Well, yeah, they lost their best defensive line.
So I would say like Philly's probably like number 4 right now.
Okay, who did you have at 1 then? Buffalo.
I had Buffalo there, yeah.
Okay, and who did you have at 2? Oh, you had Baltimore too.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, that's reasonable though. No, I see it. The way they play, they could be, they should be right next to each other anyway. So, all righty. Anything else about last week? Anything you wanted to mention or talk about?
Nope. I got nothing else for that one.
Any the
So
biggest surprise of the week? With me, it probably still Miami. Really, I mean, that was pretty ugly.
and I'm not really surprised about anything that happened this past week, other than what happened on Saturday. Other than that, no, I got nothing. Nope.
All right, so we're looking to week number 2 now. Game starting tomorrow night on Amazon Prime. The Washington Commanders against the Green Bay Packers, 5:15 p.m. Who do we have in this one?
This is going to be a good game, I think, to be honest. Both of these offenses are really good. Defenses are, like, I would say they're very similar defensively. But I think I got Washington just by a tiny bit, like maybe 2 or 3 points. I think it could
Well,
be that close.
Yeah, we're gonna see how good Green Bay is. Maybe if Green Bay can handle Washington as well, then that tells me something. But we're gonna find out if Washington plays Green Bay tough and wins. They very well could. Then we'll know a little bit more about Detroit as well. So I do have Green Bay winning this one, though. All right, game 2. We have Cleveland at the Baltimore Ravens, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock game here on the West Coast. Baltimore favored by 11.5, over under of 45 points.
11.5.
Yeah,
That's a high one.
I got Baltimore in this one.
I'm gonna just take a shot in the dark here and say Baltimore too.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I was going to be really surprised. I was just going to say, are you not even going to try this year? Is that what you're trying to do?
I already
All
proved
right.
myself.
The next game is the Seahawks against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh favored by 3, over under of 40, 10 o'clock game on Sunday morning. Who you got here?
I'm not too convinced on Pittsburgh either. Sure, you got Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But like he didn't play that great up until the second half anyway, isn't that what was happening too with that game too? Or
Yeah, it was up and down.
so I think this week is going to be the wake up game for like
Wake up for
Sam
Seattle?
Darnold.
Or okay.
Yes. I think he's going to have a much better week, which is good because I need him in fantasy this week. Brock Purdy's not playing this next week. So
okay.
I got to have him in there and hope he drops at least 20. So I have Seattle winning this game.
All right. The crowd here liked that one. So I got the Seahawks as well. Again, I'm a Seahawk fan. I think they can do better than this. We'll see what happens, though. Aaron Rodgers may not play, though. He's questionable now. After last week, too, he was sacked several times as well. So I could see there being a little hurt there. Okay, next game. Buffalo at the Jets. Buffalo given 6.5, over under of 46.5. I have Buffalo winning this one.
Yeah. Is this a come down game though?
I don't think so.
It could be.
It could
so
be.
I'm gonna say one of these New York teams are gonna win, and it's gonna be Buffalo.
Ooh. I thought you were talking about the Jets and the Giants.
No.
All right, San Francisco at New Orleans. San Francisco, perhaps without Brock Purdy.
He's 3. Not. He's a long shot to play, so he is not going to be playing.
San Francisco still favored by 3, over under of 40.5. This is a 10 o'clock game as well. Who we have in this one?
Well, Mac Jones, see how you can do it. I still got San Francisco. New Orleans, what are they doing? They have a guy like Alvin Kamara. You only throw him to the ball once.
Yeah.
Give him 15 rushes and then at least like 8 targets, and he'll probably have like the most receiving yards on the team. You got Olave.
Well, and
they got a lot to figure out.
Even going back to the Seahawks. Even back to the Seahawks, that's Cooper Kupp with me. You've got to get the ball in his hands a little bit. He's got to be targeted at least a little bit more than that. All right, New England at Miami.
You didn't pick that, did you?
Oh, yeah, San Francisco. New England at Miami. Miami favored by 1.5. Miami favored by 1.5. 43.5.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Wow, Miami's favored by 1.5. I picked New England, to be quite honest. If Miami is what Miami is, they ain't gonna win.
As much, you know what? I'm gonna do it like this. When I say that there's a comeback game, like Seattle is gonna wake up, Miami is going to see, oh, maybe we should probably start, playing some football. So I think that Miami is going to start kicking things up a little bit here, and they're going to take this one.
All right. The Rams at the Titans, 10 a.m. game as well. Rams favored by 5.5, 41.5 over under. Rams at Titans.
I want to say the Rams. I really do. But I don't know. These two, I'm not even going to elaborate. I'm going to say Tennessee. What?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Tennessee could win. This is that type of game. Rams play tough late in the year. Rams play tough divisional games. But I got the Rams. I got the Rams in this one. All right, this could be a good matchup. Chicago at Detroit. Both teams 0-1. Detroit favored by 6, over under of 46.5, another 10 a.m. game. I have Detroit in this one.
Chicago is not going to be happy with what happened last week.
Okay.
But Detroit is even going to be more unhappy with how they went last week. So I think Detroit comes back with a vengeance. I see them scoring 60 by themselves, to be honest. But I don't think that's actually going to happen. I just think Detroit is going to take this one, and it's going to be a little lopsided.
You know, one thing I did think about, though, was the Ben Johnson coaching Chicago at the same time. He knows that offense. He knows Detroit's offense. I still picked Detroit, but that's something I didn't consider in doing this to start with. All right, next game, New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys. 10 a.m. game as well. Dallas favored by 5.5, over under of 44.5.
Press the boo.
This is the boo.
Dallas.
I also think Dallas will win this game. I think the Giants. I think what's going to happen is going to get one step closer to Jackson Dart being the starter after this week, and I would say probably by week 4 he'll be in there. All right, moving on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati.
Is that gonna be the case with Jaden Milroe too?
No,
I would much rather see him.
You know, Milroe had a couple plays in there. I don't know if you saw that or not. Ran the ball a little bit.
The runs, yeah.
Second play of the game, actually. But no, we got to use Sam Darnold for what he can do. That's the thing that I'm curious of. I thought he worked with Clint Kubiak before and stuff, so I thought it was going to be the perfect fit. Anyway, Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Both of these teams 1-0. Jacksonville at Cincinnati. Cincinnati favored by 3.5, over under of 49. And Cincinnati's going to go 2-0.
I have the same thing.
All right. Carolina at Arizona. First 1:00 game of the day. Arizona favored by 6.5, over under of 43.5. What say you?
I got Arizona on this one.
I also have Arizona. All right, the next game could be interesting. If Indianapolis really is anything, or if Miami truly is just Miami at this point. Denver at Indianapolis. Denver favored by 1.5, over under 42.5. Is this me?
Mm-hmm.
It is. I have Denver.
I don't know.
Tried and tested. I think they're going to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Denver too.
All right. Now the Super Bowl rematch. Philadelphia at Kansas City.
For the last 2 years.
Yep. Philadelphia favored in Kansas City by a point. Over under of 47. Who you got in this one?
No matter what, this is going to be a good game too. Obviously, they got a lot of missing weapons in Kansas City now.
That they do.
Xavier Worthy's going to be not playing week 2. With Rashee Rice still on suspension, you got to have Hollywood Brown, and running backs need to step up a little bit. Travis Kelce did okay last week, but not passable. Philly, who's is there anything to complain about in all of Philadelphia's football playing, like defensively or anything? I don't think so. I think they got everything going on. I mean, defensively, maybe need to be working on the coverage a little bit, but like, and not spitting at quarterbacks.
I was going to say, just keep your spit to yourself, and things will probably work out better.
This is going to go either way. I love both teams, but I see Kansas City saying, "Remember that Super Bowl? This is what it should have been."
I think it's going to be a good game. I think this may be that game that Kansas City pulls out like they did last year. Game 1, they lost. They lost that way. They had a chance to win, and they lost. That was the first game they've lost basically since last year. That was a one-score game. So I think Kansas City as well. I think they have a lot to prove. I think this is, as you say, this is their redemption for the Super Bowl anyway. I don't think they want to go 0-2 in their division. Denver and even the Chargers and Raiders are both 1-0. So there's going to be 2-0 teams. And I don't know that you want to go down 2 games just as the season starts. So I'll take Kansas City as well. All right, Atlanta at Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 3.5, over under a 44.5. I'm pretty much went chalk with all of these picks this week. I'm picking Minnesota. JJ McCarthy showed me a lot in that fourth quarter. I think Atlanta may be too much for him. I don't know that he's going to be able to do that at the end if they use all their weapons the way they can. I think Atlanta's got a really good shot on this one, but I'm going to take Minnesota.
Yeah, I liked what I saw from JJ. Didn't call it quits too early and came back and told Chicago to get out. But I'm going to go with Atlanta on this one.
Okay.
There's too many game changers in Atlanta's offense that I think could definitely take over compared to Minnesota's.
Well, and that's it. I mean, you're not going to be able to score as much as they did in fourth quarters like this all the time. Chicago had them down. Caleb Williams had such an excellent first half there. But JJ McCarthy had it kind of everything lined up for him there and did a great job of bringing him back. And that's that come from behind win and everything that he has going for him. So good for him. But we'll see what happens in that one. All right. Monday night game, 2 Monday night games this week. Tampa Bay Tampa Bay. Usually the first week they did it, not the second week. Tampa Bay at Houston. This could be a good game. Houston's favored by 2.5. Over under a 42.5. This is a 4:00 start here on the West Coast. What you thinking?
Much like the other games, Seattle, Detroit, I think that at some point Houston is going to start clicking. And I think they're not going to let it be too far down or too far into the season before they do. I think this week, against a decent Tampa Bay offense, they're going to try and have to keep up with. I feel like Houston will squeak by. And if they squeak by with like a field goal or I don't know what the margin is going to be, but they're gonna pull through and win this one.
Yeah, I got Tampa Bay in this one. Again, I picked pretty much chalk on most of these things, but I think Tampa Bay will just have enough to get it done. Baker's for real right now. He really is. And they've got some really good weapons on offense as well. Mike Evans is still doing it. All right. And the last Monday night game, the Chargers at the Raiders. Chargers favored by 3.5, 46.5 is the over and under. This is, if you remember as a Seahawk fan, the battles that Jim Harbaugh and Pete Carroll had as head coaches of those two teams in Seattle and San Francisco. Here we go again. The Chargers and the Raiders. There's a little bit extra on the line, I think, with both of these two guys. I think there's kind of a little friction there between them two. So we'll see if that plays into anything at all. What do you got on this one? Is Geno going to be able to lead the Raiders?
If the Chargers played anything like they did last week, no. Not very many teams can come out week one saying they beat the Chiefs. Not very many teams, and the Chargers are one of them. But I don't know if there's not much going on in Vegas that is making me say, yeah, they can beat a higher caliber team. I mean, obviously they have some good playmakers, Brock Bowers, Genty, and stuff like that, but I just don't think they got enough to keep up with the Chargers if they're scoring the way they did last week.
Right. No, and I agree. I have got the Chargers on this one as well. I think they're going to take care of business on the road and go to 2-0. So, all right. Now, of all of these games, how about the rain game for you? The game that's just kind of a yawner of, oh man, this one's going to be hard to watch. What do you think on that one?
I just have a feeling if it's New England and Miami.
That's exactly what I chose.
Also,
as well.
In years previous, these two teams played, and it was fireworks.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
Yeah,
mainly defensively on the side of New England. Back when Bill was coaching them, but as of late, it hasn't been too crazy. But I just think that one's probably going to be the most yawner out of all of them. So,
and what about the shine game for you? I've got Washington and Green Bay, the game tomorrow night, as the shine game.
That is what I have too. Washington,
right.
Green Bay.
All right, couple good matchups there. So, all right, and now our betting end of this thing. We pick a parlay each week, 2-game parlay. If you took Robbie's advice last week, you would have won. If you took mine, sorry, you wouldn't have won. This week
Boo.
I have. Yes,
I'll do it myself. There you go.
All right. Yes, you wouldn't have one with me. This week, however, I have Denver giving 1.5 to Indianapolis at Indianapolis. And then I have Tampa Bay and Houston, taking a page out of your book, going over 42.5. So Denver given 1.5 at Indianapolis, Tampa Bay and Houston over the 42.5. What's your parlay?
My first one is the second one you had.
Oh, okay.
So you took half of mine. So I'm sure you'll win that one now. But so. my other side is Atlanta and Minnesota over 44.5.
Atlanta, Minnesota over what? 44.5?
44.5. Yep.
Okay. All right. Again, those are for entertainment purposes only. If you are
they
taking our advice and picking those, you are on your own. If you lose, don't blame it on us. We told you about it. If you win, hey, thank us. Maybe send us money or something if you're winning. I mean, yeah.
Now, I'll show you the Venmo. Do you want me to show you the Venmo code so that way you can
just put it right in there? You can even do it anonymously. We don't care.
Yep.
All right. We're going to move on to some fantasy football, just highlights of the top players in each position. Is that what you got for us tonight, Rob? All righty. Yep. Go ahead and take it away.
Well, we had some surprising things happen. Let's just say slow starts, big finishes. But here we go. Week 1, fantasy top scores. Last year we did 3 at each position, the top 3. This year we're just going to do the guy in each position. So we're going to start off with the quarterback. None other than my quarterback in in fantasy football, Josh Allen. Slow start, but he had a massive game. 33 completions, 394 passing yards.
Wow.
Which I think almost 200 of them were in like the last quarter, I want to say. 150 of them are around there were in the last quarter. 2 passing touchdowns. He had 14 rushes. Technically, it was 12 because he kneeled twice or something like that. 20 yards, 2 more rushing touchdowns, but 42.76. Great start for the fantasy season for those who have him on. Now we move on. The running backs. Let's keep it in the same game. How about that? Derrick Henry. Oh, kind of hurts to put him up here, but
didn't you used to have him on your team?
Yeah, I did.
That's why it hurts to have him up there. All right. Just last year, actually.
Yeah, just last year I kind of got scared of that. His age. But he's showing people it doesn't matter. So
he can still do it.
I got a first-round pick out of it, though. And Sam Darnold, and I don't know what else I got. A 4th round, so it was okay, I guess. Anyway, 18 rushes, 169 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then he adds a catch for 13 yards, 29.2.
God, he had a great stiff arm again on a defender there. Oh my gosh, these poor guys just have no clue what's even.
A lot of his highlights are on the Bills too, so it made sense. And you know what? For wide receiver, let's keep it in the same game. How about that one?
Wow.
Zay Flowers.
Okay.
7 catches, 143 yards and a touchdown, 28.1. Did you start him?
I appreciate. Yes, I started him.
What happened though?
I got the crap beat out of me. Yes, I had the crap beat out of me. I have so many receivers, all supposed to have about the same amount of numbers. I have like 6 or 7 of them. So choosing the right one each week is going to be a real chore. But Zay's definitely made it to week 2. Jameson Williams, not so much. Tyreek Hill, I'm giving him 1 more week because 8 points seriously from him is Calvin Ridley's on the bench.
You can't blame Tyreek for Tua not being.
Well, but I'm just saying that it doesn't do me any good to play him with if that's what's going to happen. But anyway, so my running backs are actually a lot better. It used to be a real weak spot for me, and now I've got about 4 or 5 of those guys that I've got to find some time for. So
I wish I had running back was my weak or my strong spot and tight end. Now I have like nothing. But I set up myself for the future in terms of running backs. I traded for some guys that are like handcuffs that if something happens, I think they'll be all right. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Anyway,
all right.
On to tight end.
Okay.
I don't think we saw this guy at all last year in the top things we did, but Juwan Johnson for the Saints.
Oh wow!
Had Spencer's safety blanket here. He got 8 catches, 76 yards, 21.6 fantasy. The reason why it's so high compared to like that is a tight ends get an extra 0.5 point per catch and another 0.5 point for a first down. So that's why it's normally it would be like, oh, he got 15 points? No, he got that. So
yeah, this is in our dynasty league is what this is. So we keep the same team every year, just draft rookies and they just thought, tight ends don't get that much use. Let's give them an extra 0.5 point for catch and first down. So anyway, works for us.
Funny thing is before last week started, I went and picked him up. Didn't play him, but I picked him up. Didn't need him. But now I might because of other tight ends not performing the way they should. So,
well, George Kittle going down could have affected this number because he was tearing it up against Seattle to start with. He was
well.
en route to have a really good game, but oh well. All righty. So here we go. Week 2 coming on quick. We're going to be 2 weeks gone already. Only 15 more weeks left of the season.
Don't say that.
16, I guess, right?
Don't say that either.
Weeks now. It goes too
I've
fast.
been waiting too long for this.
Yep. It goes too fast and takes too long to come back around.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So on behalf of all of our staff here at ROS Sports, both of us, this is Tom Satera again signing off, saying, hey, watch some really good football this weekend and go Hawks.